Okay, we're gonna get straight into this. Are gamers really criminals for enjoying characters such as Penny Parker or Emma Frost or Stella Blade for that matter?
Are we criminals? That seems to be the message that is trending right now on Reddit and all across social media when it comes to the players playing Penny Parker from Marvel Rival. And of course, this all stems from a discussion around the age of Penny Parker herself, where people are questioning the overall limitations of what gamers should actually be able to access and play according to the age of these fictional characters. And this is what we're seeing pop up all throughout the video gaming industry nowadays when it comes to these new people that have just been introduced to the overall culture of gaming these past few years because they come from political or entertainment backgrounds and they want to have their input in what is the culture of gaming. And we see that a lot on Reddit, and of course these gaming social media journalists that come out and attack a whole host of games that are already doing things that gamers love, but they don't like that gamers actually love this style and design.
Okay, case in point, what this is trying to do is because of one simple reason. Back in the past, we gamers were just social outcasts. Nobody even cares about us. Many people say we just stay home all night, do nothing to benefit society, or even better, people would say touch grass, and even better, what was that, the Tetris? Yeah, the Sky News says defeating Tetris is not a life goal. What else should I name? Oh yeah, it's because of this kind of thing. Remember, when we let people, I don't know, people non-gamers, there are gonna be some people who hates us, and thus conjugates Gamergate 1, who just went into this industry knowing that they love video games, when in reality some people who got into this industry, some loves video games, but there are some who doesn't. They just hear for the message. They knew that this medium can make a lot of money, which means they can do their virtue signaling.
This is something that has been happening in the anime community for the past few years, where we have these new people that have been introduced to anime through Netflix shows or Adult Swim, and they come and encounter an entire different culture like Japanese culture that has a tendency to have these characters that look youthful and young and engaging. And they take this as a claim that these characters are super younger and they shouldn't be looked at or engaged with by any male counterpart. And I think that's the situation we're seeing right now with Penny Parker and the overall controversy around this character, where we have people saying, you shouldn't be playing this character, you shouldn't even be thinking about this character, and more than anything, you are deemed a criminal for even liking this character and playing as him. And that is what we usually see, the extremes online when it comes to choices of characters, to video games, and that's what we're seeing with Reddit taking an aim and an axe to the game players that like Penny Parker just as a character to play and like the look and appeal of the character. And I think this is the situation we're seeing right now kind of play out within the video gaming industry, where we have contrasting voices, people that really are not into games or animation or anything related to that, encountering Chinese, Japanese, and Korean culture and seeing more youthful presences for a lot of the female characters rather than the old decrepit look that we usually see from Western gaming.
Before I let that continue, I think it depends on whoever's making the game. Look, some people are passionate, they want to create these games, but the problem is there will be some people who does not like gamers. And in the West, mainly, Sweet Baby Inc., many of them 100% hate gamers. Black Girl Gamer, no, they aren't gamers. You may look at it as gamers, but in reality, they're just there for the virtue signaling. And it's the reason why gaming's now being hijacked by activists, but mainly in the West. But the East is still remains intact, minus Japan. At least the East understand what gamers want. 9 times out of 10, most of the Eastern developers are in fact gamers,
where they tend to look for more mature and out of date and aging aunties to be at the core of the most recent games that are coming out. Of course, in the past that wasn't the case, but modern gaming for the West is older grocery auntie archetypes. And I think them seeing Penny Parker put in the focus and seeing Marvel Rivals and a whole host of these East Asian games that have a focus more on youthful appearances of the characters is grating on these people. And I think you can see this with some of the responses to Penny Parker actually being in the game and a lot of people enjoying the character and liking the model and design of the character, because you had people questioning her age, where they're saying this, she's a 15, 14-year-old, you can't play as her. And I think that misconception of how they design characters in the Eastern world has led to people to believe that she's way younger than she actually is, because we had the developer themselves come out and say, No, she's not 16, she's not 14, 15, she's 18 years old. That's how we designed her. She's a high school senior, and that's the focus of the character in the game. And of course, this had led to people to say, yeah, this is what we expected. This is the designs that we should see. We already kind of have an interpretation that this character was going to be a lot older than they actually appeared, because that happens often in animations. But this is aggravating the people on Reddit, as they claim that this is a gross misgeneralization and a mishandling of power. And that's what we exactly see from the people at Gaming Circle Jerk on Reddit, which is...
Ah, yes, of course it is. Of course. Gaming Circle Jerk. That is unbelievable. Oh, wait, here it is. DEI industry. Unbelievable. What an unexpected surprise. Oh, wait, it wasn't unexpected. I'm certain some people can see that a mile away. Oh, wait, what's this? What I see here, is that a trans flag? See, this is why people who just say this about gooners or anything, or perhaps even saying that this game does not benefit society, those aren't gamers. I know some people who are non-gamers. They practically just don't seem to care, and some of them are even interested. I can tell some people who are non-gamers are also interested in playing. This kind of thing is the reason why gaming is now being hijacked. And right now, many gamers, instead of playing the West, let me rephrase what I said. Instead of playing games in the West, or games made in the West, many gamers are now looking to the East. Because they knew in the East, all game developers in the East are gamers. Because they understand what gamers want. Unlike in the West, 9 times out of 10, you'll have at least one of them who is a passionate gamer, while the rest hates gamers.
Emphasize most of the time when it comes to these character designs from animation, and of course video games as well, where there's an overemphasis on saying you're a criminal if you enjoy these designs, or if you like the character in general, not even in an explicit way, you just like the character in general, you play as them. And I think that is the response we often see when it comes to these activist organizations, these politicized organizations and groups of people. They try to shame you out of the things that you enjoy from these cultures, from Eastern culture. And I think that is their target, to disengage the audience from actually taking part in these games that are highly successful and enjoyable. And I think we often see that with the current day gaming community, where they try to disengage you, shame you for actually taking part in some of these successful properties like Marvel Rivals, choosing some of these characters, because it's the antithesis of the game design that they see and want to see approach within the Western gaming environment. Like I mentioned before, their character design for any female character is a grocery store auntie, and that's what we see with a lot of the characters coming out from the West. We get these over mature, masculine built, kind of annoying a personality character that we kind of don't want to engage with, and I think that is the prototype for a lot of modern day video game models, where a lot of gamers are just kind of tired of seeing that design pattern apparent within the Western gaming sphere. And that's why people are more gravitating towards games like Marvel Rivals, because they're introducing new design patterns that are not in line with what we consistently see within the market. That's why you have people rejoicing with new designs like Emma Frost, and it's taking hold and capturing the imagination of the fan base, because they're making things outside of the Western design pattern, and people are going to cheer for it. And that's why its success is so glaringly obvious to the fan base. That's why you get over an extra 100,000 people joining that game just to play this character in and of itself, because it's outside of the Western design pattern. And I think that's the result that we're seeing consistently all throughout the industry. We're seeing these design patterns being celebrated and actually achieved within an Eastern gaming market that is unashamed of creating these character designs.
Correction, they are unashamed, because guess what? Most of those Eastern developers, they are gamers too. They understand what gamers want. Unlike in the West, which I know some developers are in fact gamers. Problem is that they're being shackled against people in higher ups or in CEO roles that hate gamers, or even the art director. Because I know some developers in the West, they just want to be passionate, they want to do what they've been born to do, like creating games. This is the only media they have when it comes to scholarship. Only the problem is they cannot quit their job. Another thing is that because of that, they can't say anything about it, otherwise they'll be blacklisted on it. And now that's the reason why many gamers are looking to the East. Yes, there are indies and AA. However, the majority of it is going to be filled up by Eastern games. Again, I'll leave Wagner Knows Why's full video link in the description. I think the problem is that game developers in the West, I'm not talking about indie, okay? I'm talking about AAA. The higher ups, many of them, 9 times out of 10, were DEI hires. They just wanted to just cash in the paycheck. They knew that being in a higher role or in the CEO role of AAA video game company will make them a lot of money. Cash in the check and then done. They don't care what happened to their bottom or perhaps the people below them. They don't care. And the people who make video games, they have no choice. This is their job. This is what they do. And they have to appeal or follow their overlords. Otherwise, they get blacklisted. And they can't start a new studio. It takes time. It takes a lot of money. Something that many of these developers don't have. At this point, if Western AAA developers don't keep their act, or perhaps to improve their working environment and improve the quality of their games, the East and the Indie and the AA, they're gonna fill up the market, and all the Western AAA games and developers will be pushed to the side.
That one hurt. Comes some serious damage.
Whatever you must do, Spider Zero,
Moonlight left his own.
get you there to do it.
Another epic victory! Big win!
Leave a like and subscribe if you want woke or anti-woke detected, or you just want to see me play games. You can visit my second, third, and fourth channel up here or link in the description.